Okay folks, this is King Willis again, and I've got another Twitter training for you. This one is Twitter engagement tricks that get your followers to lean forward. You know what that means? Lean forward. In other words, they're showing interest. They're showing interest, aren't they? I'm an attraction marketer, and I like to give people incentives to show interest. Otherwise, it'll be me pushing all the time. So what I'm really wanting to do is to get them to show interest by replying, responding in some way to something I may have done. It could be just posting a little piece of content on Twitter. It could be me being more direct with them. I do something to get them to respond, and before you know it, we're getting a conversation happening, and it's on my terms. Okay, my terms. I'm in control. Okay, so let's have a look. There are two keys to getting engagement. Number one is good content. Number two is direct contact. Direct contact. I do both. I don't just rely on content. It's too passive. I do get action from just content alone, but I get a lot more from direct content. So it's when you marry the two that magic starts to happen. Now, before I continue, let me clarify the meaning of engagement. Engagement to me is likes, retweets, comments, where they comment on something that you've done, and on one of your tweets perhaps, and discussions. Discussions is where you're using the the direct messaging feature that comes with Twitter, and you're getting into an actual conversation. Here's an example of retweets and likes. There's a few examples. So there's a retweet. Somebody retweeted one of my success quotes on the left there. On the right-hand side, somebody retweeted another one of my success quotes, but this one has a link in it. This one, somebody liked something that I did, piece of content, and somebody else liked. So one of the things that surprised me about this strategy is how much of my content gets retweeted. I didn't expect there'd be much. There'd be a big incidence of it, but I am more than happy with the retweets that I'm getting. And of course, when people retweet your stuff, you're going to, or you may be able to get some of that viral thing happening, and then before you know it, you find people following you who saw that content that that follower shared with his or her followers. So it's good, works quite well. Now, here is an example of comments. This guy here has made a comment about one of the tweets that I sent out, or my automated system sent out, and then he has provided a comment. Even better if you stop worrying about success or failure, just worry about making a difference in others' lives, blah, blah. And then I have thanked him for that good point. Thanks. Now, on the right-hand side here, this is in the direct messaging box, or app, whatever you call it. This is more of a real conversation. Okay, so I'm asking specific questions. She's asking questions of me. It's a bit of a game of chess, actually, trying to determine if there is a potential to do business with this person, and sometimes they're trying to do the same thing back. And so it's a bit of toing and froing, asking questions, finding out if there are any synergies here, looking for pain points. I'm always looking for pain points. So, I'm asking questions like, how's business? You're using Twitter to get leads. How's it working for you? That sort of thing. Okay, so open-ended questions that are designed to get a response. And it doesn't always result in a lead or in sales or anything like that, but you've just got to enjoy the process. enjoy the process, just really get committed to this whole concept of social media. Really get committed to it, and you will find that over time lots of good things will happen. You can get a bit of a snowballing effect happening. Okay, so you've got to get your mental settings right. You can't really do this unless you're in the right place mentally. That's for sure. So, and you've got to make the leap from maybe just giving social media platforms cursory attention to get to the point where you really are a full-blown social media person. And so that might mean, in a practical sense, that you're spending 2 hours a day on social media. Currently, I'm spending, probably about 5 hours a day on social media. Now, previously, I've got to say, there have been times where I was only spending 10 minutes a day on social media. And then I was complaining that I wasn't getting a result from it. So I upped my hours, I upped my commitment. Things started to happen. People started to follow me. I started to get a lot more engagement. My leads, I started to get more leads. Okay, now this is a little file that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share part of it with you at least. And this works well for me in terms of getting engagement happening. So what happens is that when somebody follows me, I'll say hi. Okay, I'll say hi, and I might say something like, "Are you here?" I don't think I've got this one, but I don't think I've got it on this file. I've actually got that on my status brew. It's automated so that when they follow me, they get this message, and the message is, "Are you here mostly for social media? For social reasons or business reasons?" When they reply, if they reply, I will manually send them this one. Me too. You can meet some interesting people here. What's your business? And then, more often than not, they will reply to that. And then I've got a choice here of all sorts of different messages that I can send them, depending on what their reply is, depending on what the subject matter or the topic, what the topic is. So I've got them for Twitter, and because I'm also very active on Facebook, I've got them for Facebook as well. But that's another story for another training for another day. So one of my objectives actually is to get people over to Facebook at some point in the discussion, if possible. So that's it there. Head on over to Facebook and add me as a friend. I do lots of good things there. Say, I just found a spy on me and see what I do. I also have a free report, 32 ways. Now, okay, that's what I've done. You will have some other tool that you can offer people. All right, it's good to offer some sort of a tool, because if you're in the home business arena, one of the biggest hot buttons and or pain points for people is lack of leads. So if you've got some techniques or some tricks or some trainings, free trainings or something like that, that you can offer to people, they will be grateful. They will show gratitude, and then the law of reciprocity will kick in. So the key to this whole process is to be helpful. It's not about pitching people and trying to make a sale at this point. All we're doing is opening a relationship. That's how networking works. This is not cold calling. This is networking. It's no different to you joining, say, the local Chamber of Commerce and waltzing along there one night for a meeting or something like that, and then you running around pitching people and getting in people's faces and being obnoxious. That would go over like a lead balloon. So why is it any different on social media platforms? It's still networking. The only thing is that you're not live, you're not in the room with them. You're doing it, in a virtual way. So, but it's no different. The mechanics are exactly the same. The mechanics are exactly the same. So what you've got to do is you've got to be much more patient than perhaps you've been in the past. People that I've trained or tried to train in the past, I find they're extremely impatient. They're into instant gratification. They've probably been thinking that way all their lives if they've been wage slaves, because they're used to getting their weekly paycheck. They're used to doing the work and getting a very quick result. So this is about Yeah, this is about farming, not hunting. This is about nurturing people and cultivating people. It doesn't mean to say that you can't, if you've got a lead magnet that you want to offer people, you've got an opt-in page. It depends on how the conversation goes on the first discussion that you have with people. But it may not be appropriate to do it right then and there. It really depends on the answers to your questions. If you're asking questions that are involving questions designed to bring out pain points, etc., and it's obvious they have a pain point, if you can help them with that then and there, well, why not? Of course, put your hustler's hat on and just go for it. I've had that happen. I've made sales on the very first discussion that I've had with people, because the people were hot. They had a pain point. They were looking for a solution. So I said, okay, we'll have a look at this, see what you think. And basically, I lead with a lead magnet, a free report. It was a lead generation free report. I led with that, and then they took the upsell after they opted in, and they spent some money. So it's really important that you look at this in the right way. It's no different to old style networking. You go along to a meeting offline, a meetup or a Chamber of Commerce meeting. You're not going to start pitching people as soon as you walk into the room. You're going to open up a conversation. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to ask them, what sort of business they've got, what are they looking for, why do they join the Chamber of Commerce, etc. You're going to look for points of common interest. You're going to do all of those good things that good networkers do. So social media is exactly the same. It's no different. Let me finish off the core Twitter game plan, which I've discussed on other trainings. You need to have a follower strategy. I've got a training for that, so you can, if you haven't watched that already, you can do that. You need to have a content strategy, same. You need to have an engagement strategy. That's what this is about. And you need to have a conversion strategy. You need to have all of those 4 elements in place. When you do that, you're going to start getting leads, and ultimately you're going to start making money. Hope you enjoyed this mini training. Kim Willis, bye for now.